Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Scotland. And today I have this fun card. It looks quite normal like that until you realise that it's not a full front. We've taken a section out and you get to see part of the inside, and there's still loads of room for you to write your message on there. I've got all of the dimensions for the card and designer series paper listed in my blog post, which you can find on stampwithnellie.com, but there'll be a direct link in the description bar below that you can follow. You'll also find links to all of the Stampin' Up products that I've used for today's card and a link to my shop as well. So I'm going to make another version of this with you today, and I am using this time Purple Posy card instead of the Night of Navy. This card measures 14.5 centimetres by 12.5 centimetres, and I've already gone ahead and scored that at 10.5 centimetres. So that gives me my normal card base of 10.5 by 14.5, but obviously I've just got a little bit for the top part. I do have a piece to put on the inside, and I have another piece that I'm going to put there. So I will do the inside first, and as with this one, I'm using paper from the Playing with Patterns 6x6 designer series paper pack, and I've cut these strips to 2.5 centimetres, and I've just left the full width just to make life a little bit easier for myself. I'm just going to make sure that I've got that lined up properly, and then I can chop off the excess there. Okay, yep, happy with that. So I can just go in and chop that extra bit off, and I'll just put that straight in the bin so that I don't get myself covered in glue. Okay, and I want to do exactly the same with this other piece here. As I say, I could have just trimmed that to the right length. Just gives me a little bit more wiggle room to play about, make sure that I've got that lined up perfectly, and then can just trim off the excess. Okay, so this piece simply gets added to the card base that we've already talked about. Just checking that glue's dry. Make sure I don't get myself covered in it or get it onto my card, even more of an issue. Okay, so I'm just making sure that I've got that with a nice neat edge all the way around. Okay, now for my original version I used a piece of Whisper White card, and I stamped that with Night of Navy using the Wishing You the Happiest of Birthdays stamp from the Happiest of Birthdays stamp set. So this time I'm going to use the same stamp, but I'm going to use the Calypso Coral ink pad just to change it up a bit. So just a few taps making sure that I have got ink all over my stamp. I'm quite happy with that. Move that out of the way. Make sure I've got that kind of straight, and I'm just checking I've got that the right way around. Yes, I have. That's fine. And I just want to make sure that I get that fairly central, and it's a nice neat fit onto that piece of card. Perfect. So this piece measures 10 centimeters by 8.2 centimeters there, and that will get mounted onto this piece here. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put that in place first. Now, this piece is not quite square, so just want to make sure that I've got the right way round. Yeah. So I don't want to put it right the way up there because that might foul the closing of it. So I want to have it slightly down, and I want to make sure that I've got this bottom edge in line with this edge here. Okay, so I don't want it too far up, and I don't want to overhang too much. It can overhang slightly if you wish. And I also want to make sure I've got roughly the same width either way. Then all I'm going to do is add some glue, which you can either add to this top piece here, or you could add to there. I just find it a little bit easier to do it to this bit and make sure that I don't go too far down on there. Okay, so quite happy with that where it is, and then fold that over and press firmly to make sure that you've got a nice neat fit there. I'm using an almost new bottle of glue, and it is coming out a little bit more quickly than the one that I was using previously, and I've gotten used to where I had to persuade it to come out. So I have got a little bit too much glue there. Just I have an old cloth that I keep for that very reason. Okay, so I do prefer to use wet glue simply because it gives you a little bit more time to make sure you've got things placed properly. What I need to try and remember is that this is a new bottle of glue, and to put my, and it is coming out a bit more quickly, so I need to put it a wee bit further in so that when I press down it doesn't squirt out. And probably by the time that I remember to do that, I will be at the point where the glue's not coming out that quickly anymore. I'm using ribbon here from the Playing with Patterns suite, and what I'm going to do is put a little bit of Stamp and Seal just, I need to persuade it to start. There it is. Oh, got it on my finger and not on the card. There we go. A little bit there, and I'm going to put a little bit here as well. I haven't used this glue much. There clearly is a knack to it. I've just not got at the minute. So, I've put the glue in the wrong bit. I've put the glue in the wrong bit. Bear with me, I'm going to take my eraser and take that bit off because I need to make sure that the glue is actually there and not there, because I'm not putting my ribbon on that bit. Bear with me. Okay, so with the help of my trusty adhesive eraser, which Stampin' Up used to sell but unfortunately don't stock any longer. However, you can buy them from a very large online retailer. So I've got a little bit of glue on there, and you simply use it to pick that up. Works great with most tape runners. And where I had a little bit of glue coming out the edge there, I've taken that off as well from my wet glue. So what we should have done, and what I have done now, is we've got some adhesives there and a little bit there. Now I've brought my silicone mat in because I wanted to make sure that I didn't stick either of those pieces of my card onto my desk. Sorry, I got slightly distracted there because I've somehow managed to get a bit of glue onto this piece of ribbon as well. Honestly, it's not for things disappearing on this desk, it's getting covered in glue. Right, take that off. Okay, so back to where we were before I so rudely left you. I'm putting that piece of ribbon along the top there, and that glue isn't going to show, but it will just help hold that in place, especially while I try and tie a bow. Now I'm giving myself plenty of ribbon here. And because of my interruption, I can't remember whether I told you or not that this ribbon is from the Playing with Patterns suite. But it is. Okay, so I just want to do a simple bow, she says. Making sure that I keep that on that piece there. It's not the best bow in the world, but before I take photographs I will make sure that I've got that tidied up, and I'll trim off the excess tails. Okay, and my final touch with this one, I used the Coastal Cabana because it tied in with that. I used the Purple Posy to tie in with that. We do have some Coastal Cabana there, but I've managed to hide it. The last bit I want to do is to add in some of these Purple Posy resin dots that are also from the Playing with Patterns suite. So there's 3 different sizes, and I'm going to use, in fact no, there's 4 different sizes, and I'm going to use 3 of them. I'll do that one there. Okay, so once I've tidied up that, we'll have 2 fun fold birthday cards that do stand and have a little just bit extra detail on them. I hope you've enjoyed today's cards. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a positive comment. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, then please do. And if you click on that bell, you'll be notified of the next time I publish a video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.